Alright, so in this problem, I have 500 squared minus 499 squared. So, I actually have two methods to solve this problem. So, for method 1, first start by rewriting this, 500 squared minus 499 squared. And, well, first off, I'm going to rewrite 500 squared. So 500 squared, this is the same thing as 499 plus 1 squared. And if I have something in the form a plus b squared, this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So in this case, a is 499 and b equals 1. So this turns into 499 squared plus 2 times 499 times 1 plus 1 squared. And now this is equal to 499 squared plus 998 plus 1. And remember, at the end here, I have negative 499 squared. So now we can add that back in. And 499 squared minus 499 squared, these two cancel out. So I'm left with 998 plus 1. And this is equal to 999. So that is the first method of solving this problem. Now for method 2, I'm going to rewrite my problem. 500 squared minus 499 squared. And now this time, last time we rewrote 500 squared, right? This time I'm going to rewrite 499 squared. So 499 squared is the same thing as 500 minus 1 squared. And if I have something in the form a minus b squared, this is equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So, in this case, a is 500 and b is 1. So this is going to turn into 500 squared minus 2 times 500 plus, minus 2 times 500 times 1 plus 1 squared. And this simplifies to 500 squared minus 1000 plus 1. And now we can go back and replace 499 squared with this. So we get 500 squared minus 500 squared minus 1000 plus 1. And this is all in parentheses, by the way. So now this is equal to 500 squared. And now we're going to distribute the negative sign. So if I distribute the negative sign, that's basically like multiplying these terms by negative 1. So negative 1 times 500 squared is negative 500 squared. Negative 1 times negative 1000 is positive 1000. And negative 1 times positive 1 is negative 1. Now these two 500 squares cancel out. So I'll be left with 1000 minus 1. And 1000 minus 1 is 999. So again, I get 999 as my answer. Alright, so in this equation, I have 3 to the power of x to the power of 3 over 9 to the power of x is equal to 81. So, to solve this, I'm going to first write 9 as 3 squared. So I get 3 to the power of x to the power of 3 over 3 squared to the power of x is equal to 81. And if I have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m times n. So 3 to the power of x to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 2 times x, so 3 to the power of 2x, is equal to 81. I'm going to rewrite as 3 to the power of 4. So now notice how I have everything in the base of 3. So this is going to make it much easier to solve. Now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So 3 to the power of x to the power of 3 over 3 to the power of 2x is going to equal 3 to the power of x to the power of 3 minus 2x, which is equal to 3 to the power of 4. And now, if I have something in the form a to the power of m is equal to a to the power of n, this means that m is equal to n. So x to the power of 3 minus 2x is equal to 4. And now if I subtract 4 on both sides, I get x to the power of 3 minus 2x minus 4 is equal to 0. Now we have an equation here, and this isn't a regular quadratic equation because we have a power of 3 here, and we have a missing power of 2. We don't have a power of 2. So to actually solve an equation like this, what we have to do is we have to test out values, and then once we get a value that works out, we have to use that one value to find all the remaining values that are solutions to the equation. So let's first start out with 1. If x is equal to 1, then I get 1 to the power of 3 minus 2 times 1 minus 4, which does not equal 0. Now if x equals 2, I get 2 to the power of 3 minus 2 times 2 minus 4. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. 8 minus 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. So this does equal 0. So 2 is a solution. To be more precise, x equals 2 is a solution, meaning x minus 2 is equal to 0. So now what we're going to do is we're going to divide x minus 2 with x to the power of 3 minus 2x minus 4. So I get x to the power of 3 minus 2x minus 4 over x minus 2. And to solve this, we're going to have to use synthetic division, and if you guys don't know what that is, I would recommend watching a YouTube video on it. So our coefficients of our numerator is 1, -2, and -4, and then we have a 2 over here. I'm going to bring down 1. 2 times 1 is 2. -2 plus 2 is 0. 2 times 0 sorry, I actually did something wrong. We should have a 0 in here because, remember, we have a power of 2. So because there's no power of 2 here, we just put a 0. Now, if we bring down 1, we get 2 times 1, which is 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. -2 plus 4 is 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. -4 plus 4 is 0. So we have a remainder of 0, and we get x squared. Our coefficient is 1 plus 2x, coefficient is 2, plus 2 at the end. So I get x squared plus 2x plus 2 is equal to this. And this also means that x minus 2 times x squared plus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. So for this equation, I get x minus 2 is equal to 0, and x squared plus 2x plus 2 is equal to 0. For x minus 2 equals 0, x is obviously equal to 2, and we already got this solution before, so this is no surprise. Now for x squared plus 2x plus 2 equals 0, to solve this, we have to use the quadratic formula, which is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So I get x is equal to -2 plus or minus the square root of 2 squared, which is 4, minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is 2, all over 2a, so 2 times 1. And now this is equal to -2 plus or minus the square root of 4 minus 8, which is -4 over 2, which is equal to -2 plus or minus the square root of 4 times -1 over 2, which is equal to -2 plus or minus 2i. Square root of -1 is the same thing as I, over 2, which is the same thing as -1 plus or minus I. So my three solutions to the equation are x equals 2, x is equal to -1 plus I, and x is equal to -1 minus I.